Yeah.
Yeah. And the good thing about getting into recruitment, I mean, it's a tough job in a sense that it requires some talent and communicating and understanding people and being able to read people really well and having that instinct that sometimes you can't teach, right? But if you also understand like the hard skills of being a recruiter, like how to interview, how to ask the right questions and listening, right? And listening for keywords and also being able to like dig, for information, like those things you can learn, but sometimes it requires a bit of instinct that you can't teach people, right? So it's either like you have it or you don't. So there's a lot of recruiters out there. There's a lot of them. And it's a job that's very, very, it's in high demand right now because every company is looking for a recruiter because it's so hard to find good people.
Right.
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 So back in the day, before, there's like a massive boom in the tech world, especially in the tech world when it comes to hiring, hiring managers would hire themselves, but it's not feasible anymore, right? You need the gatekeeper because there's so many people out there, so many talents out there, and so many people looking for the same jobs, right? Everybody's competing for the same thing.
Right.
So, it's a high demand job. But again, like it's one of those positions where you either have it or you don't. It's like being an artist, right? You're either talented or you're not. So like in between, it's gonna be tough, right? Like you can learn some things to become a recruiter, but if you don't have that gut instinct, like naturally, like it could be difficult for you to find the right people, constantly find the right people, right? Because as a recruiter, your
Right.
goal is to be able to have a high accuracy rate, right? Like if I find a candidate and I say, oh, this person is really good for you, and then they end up hiring and succeeding, that's what you want as a recruiter. You want to find the right people and get them hired. If you keep on finding the wrong people for the hiring manager they're hiring for, then there's something wrong there, right? So essentially, like as a recruiter, like our KPIs are based on like our hire rate. How many people that you've interviewed that gets hired. That's what you want, right? Because that means like you're accurate, like your assessments are accurate. And that's what your goal would be as a recruiter, is to get your people that you vouch for to get hired. And
How did you find out that you can read people?
It's a good question. I think it came down from even just as a kid. When I was a teenager, there was always, back then when I didn't know what it was, right? It was always like an instinct. Like I've always had a very good instinct when it comes to like feeling out people's vibes, right? And some of those instincts, like I guess I just had as a kid. And when I was growing up as a teenager, like those things would come out in like finding friends, for example. Like, I don't know, there's something about this person that I'm not sure about, and blah, blah, blah. And there's always something that followed up that would like prove those like the gut feeling, right? And it kind of grew as I got older and I got into university. And when I did my business degree, there are some, like I took some psychology courses. I took human resource courses as well during my my bachelor program, right? Because that was kind of like a very general program. It's like a business admin program. It's general, so like I touched on different things, right? When it comes to the business aspect, the sales, the psychology, like marketing, and then also like the human resources aspect as well. So throughout those courses, and that's when I started to kind of pick up on the instincts that I had as a kid. But then I'm like, oh, this is useful for this, right? Actually, I've had a focus on marketing as well, and marketing is a huge thing of psychology into marketing. When it comes to consumer behavior, people's behaviors are related to marketing, right? Even choosing colors for advertising, it's related to psychology. So that I found that to be like my favorite aspect of my courses, the psychology aspect. And then, through projects and discussions and stuff like that, I was always told that I was very good at that aspect of my education, right? I was always good at, picking up like in between the lines and the underlying meanings of things without having anybody tell me how to do it. Do you know what I mean? And then that kind of, evolved into something else. And then when I fell into recruitment, I actually tried to pursue marketing, and then I had to move around and I fell into recruitment by accident. And then it turned out that I was really good at dealing with people. And my hiring managers would always say like, oh, you're very good at picking out talent. Like you have a good instinct. You have a very strong instinct when it comes to reading people and getting their vibe, right? And finding out their motivation and being able to apply that in jobs and based on people's comments and feedback. And it can, and it consistently positive, right? When it comes to that aspect of the work, it was
Right.
consistently positive in every job that I've had as a recruiter. So I guess in conclusion, well, I guess I'm good at it. I don't know. I've been told that I was. So in like 4 different companies. So I guess,
Right.
there's some
You
truth to it, right?
you have the track record, right?
Yeah, I have a track record to prove it too, and I have the numbers to prove it. So
Right.